record. So I have to do this. So today, we're gonna go through two different things because this is what I see most people are struggling with, I would say. And one of the things is just a little bit to set you up for the coming weeks and coming months. If you want to follow me on Tap to Trade. So we're gonna start off with that. On just how I trade and how you can follow it the best way and what I would recommend you guys to do and how to think. So first of all, with Tap to Trade, you gotta remember that we're not gonna win every single trade. All right. I'm just gonna be completely transparent with you guys. We are not winning every single trade. All right. That's just how trading works. So always keep that in mind. Don't over leverage, don't over risk. Just because some weeks we have good weeks, some weeks we have bad weeks. If we have a good week, we're starting off the week with, let's say, 3, 4 wins in a row. Don't go into the fifth trade with like 4% risk, 5% risk. Because on the off chance that we lose that trade, you're losing the whole profit we made during the week. And while I might go really profitable that week, you're still losing money. So whatever you do, always keep the same risk on all trades and just follow through with it, all right? There's gonna be good days, there's gonna be bad days, there's gonna be good weeks, bad weeks, good months, bad months, and so forth. So you stick through it and always remember that in the end, we are going to be profitable, all right? That I'm just gonna say from me because I don't want to lose money. And if we're not profitable, I'm losing money. All right. So just remember that when we're trading on Tap to Trade, like this is still me trading my own trades. So like when I sent out the trades before in the chat, I'm always taking all of the trades. So I would never send a trade that I don't 100% believe in from my strategy. All right. Going forward with that, I would recommend you guys to use 0.5% risk following me because I'm not gonna take that many trades, and I'm using pretty strict 3 to 5 hours per trade. So the basic trade setup is a 1 to 3 hours. And if we see a really good movement in the market, we see a really high momentum in the markets, we're going to stretch that to a 1 to 5, all right? On some situations, all right? But the basic, which we're going from the strategy is a 1 to 3. Just to keep it simple, just to keep going with those small R's, because in the long run, many small wins is better than one huge win and many losses, right? So that just to start it off. I'm not gonna trade any news. I'm always gonna close trades on bigger news, so you know. I never recommend anyone to trade news. I'm not gonna trade news for you guys. And I'm gonna trade Monday to Thursday, right? Friday, I usually never trade unless it's a really, really, really good trading week with a really good market on the Friday. Then we might take a trade. I'm not gonna say I'm never gonna take a trade on Friday, but as you've seen before, there's way, way less chance of taking a trade on Friday than on a Monday or Tuesday. So my biggest target is Monday to Thursday because that's when I like the market the most and that's when I'm looking at the setups the most. And also on Fridays, you kind of want a chill weekend, right? And if you take a loss on a Friday, it just destroys the whole weekend. So I'd rather just end on a good week on a Thursday, right? But now to the important parts of this call. On this call, we're gonna go through how you guys can handle losses and wins in the trading market. All right. And this is more aimed to you guys that want to trade on your own, learn trading, and build up your confidence to take your own trades, build a long-term vision for your trading, and be profitable overall. But to know how to handle a win or loss, we have to know what is the reason to why we lose, what is the reason to why we win. And it's actually really simple. The reason why we win trades is because we're following the rules and we're following our strategy. Super simple. The reason why we lose trades in 90% of the cases is because we're not following the rules and we're not following our strategy. That 10% is unpredictable things in the market that we can't control. All right. Sometimes that happens. And sometimes that's why we're losing trades. And that's also one reason why there's no trader in the world that's 100% hit rate on these trading accounts. Because some things we can't analyze, some things we can't foresee, some things is just gonna happen. All right. But 90% of the cases, and the main reason why most of you guys and traders overall in the world are losing money in the market is because they're not following a strategy and they're not following the rules on that strategy. So now we know why we're losing. So how can we handle this? All right. How can we handle our emotions? What kind of emotions should we feel when we win a trade or lose a trade? And we're gonna start off with the emotion part because I think it's really funny to talk about, and some of you guys are probably gonna laugh when I say this, but you shouldn't have any emotions about your trading when you lose or win a trade, no matter the case. And the main reason is because it's you, not you, that is winning the trade. All right, it's your strategy that wins trades. The strategy is the one that's winning the trades. It's not you, all right? You're just pressing a button after a strategy that tells you the rules, tells you exactly when to enter the market, and then the market goes as the strategy is telling it to go. So you're basically not doing anything but following the rules. And if I put it in this way, every time you go into a car in Sweden and in Norway, some other countries don't have the seatbelt rule, but in Sweden and Norway, I know we have it. So when you jump in the car, you're supposed to drive somewhere, you put your seatbelt on, and you're like, yes, let's go. I put the seatbelt on. Let's go. Now I can drive. Like, no, because you just know that you have to do it, right? You jump in the car, you put your seatbelt on, and you drive. You know it's supposed to be like that. You know that's what you're supposed to do because are the rules. It's the same thing with trading. You know what you're supposed to do. You know the rules of your strategy. So if you just follow them and win a trade, why should you celebrate over the top with that? All right? That's when we control our emotions. All right, the strategy wins again. The strategy wins again. The one time you should celebrate about the trading is when you get in the withdrawals, okay? That's a whole different things. That's a whole different thing, all right? When you get in the withdrawals, then celebrate, all right? Then you're actually getting the money into your pocket. You can buy whatever you want with that money. You can do whatever you want with that money. Celebrate how much you can because that's when you're supposed to celebrate, all right? We should celebrate our wins in the forex market, but we're not supposed to celebrate just winning a trade because winning a trade is just following the rules of your strategy. And the same goes to losing a trade, all right? The main reason why people are losing trades in the market is because they're not following the strategy. They're not following their own rules. And that applies to me too. I've been doing backtesting now for, I think, 6 months in a row. And I realized that the trades I lose, 95% of the trades I've lost during the last 6 months is because I took the trade when I wasn't supposed to take the trade. And that might seems really bad to come from an educator who's having profitable results and you should listen to about trading. But then you should know that if that's the main reason why I'm losing trades and I'm profitable, which means I can handle my trading really, really good. So the main reason why you're not profitable is because you're not following your rules. You're not taking trades when you're not supposed to. And I know that everyone who was at the convention in Rome knows this, and the educators talked about it a lot. And I've heard it been talking about on every single call with an educator the last 4 months. Journal your trades because that's when you figure out why you're losing trades, all right? And I'm just gonna out myself here. When I heard journaling my trade for the first time, I just thought that I was supposed to write them in a document or like Excel art, like, oh, win, loss, this is how much money, win, loss, this is how much money, this was the pair I traded. It's like your history on MetaTrader shows the exact same thing. Why I'm writing that down. What you're supposed to do is write the trade, you type the pair, how it went, your aim profit target, and then here on the note section, you write why you won the trade or why you lost the trade. And to be able to know this, you have to study your trade, your losses. And that's why most educators on the platform is always calling it a lesson. All right. It's not a lesson because you lost a trade and you should learn from just losing the trade. No, it's a lesson because you should study the loss and learn from it, right? The same way when you were in school and you failed a test, the teacher made you study again before you took the next test, right? I've never come across a teacher where I failed a test and they right away was like, oh, just write it again. It's like, of course I'm gonna fail it again. Instead, I failed the test. They tell me, okay, read up on this. This is why you failed. Read up on this and then take the test again. And then you pass it. It's the same way with trading. You lose a trade, you look at the trade, analyze the trade again, look at what you were missing. And on the off chance you don't understand anything of why you failed the trade, here's kicker. Everyone here has me on Telegram, all right? Because I'm in a group chat with every single one of you. You can use copy the chart, send it to me, and be like, hey, Sebastian, this is my strategy. This is what I'm looking for. I lost this trade. Can you explain to me why I lost this trade? Or can you explain to me what I should look for here? Can you explain to me how I should think the next time I trade? Because then I can see, okay, are you following the strategy? Are you following your rules? Or are you in that off chance that something else made you lose that trade? And then we help each other to know what you made wrong, and then we fix it, and then you start winning trades. So don't get emotional about losing the trade, because the reason why you're losing the trade is because you're not following the rules, right? It's because you're not following your strategy. So you shouldn't get sad or angry or mad or anything about that because you lost money, because to be honest here, in trading, you don't care about money. You should never care about the money in trading. You should only care about following the rules of your strategy. Because if you follow the rules of your strategy, you're gonna be a profitable trader and you're gonna win trades and you're gonna make money anyways in the long run. So don't care about the money part. Just care about following your strategy and following the rules. And we're like 19 minutes into this call, but I think you understand the message I'm trying to give you guys. Follow the damn rules, all right? It's super simple, but so many people are losing anyways. And this is why I think that you heard every single mentor you had in this industry, every single educator you had in this industry, no matter where you've been before, no matter how long you've been here, talk about discipline, all right? Because if you have discipline, you have discipline enough to not break the rules. So as long as you have a strategy that is profitable, and I'm just gonna add that part because some people, and I'm just gonna be honest, I'm not outing anyone because it wasn't in this team, but it has come to my attention that some people just look at one YouTube video about the best strategy in the world and this is gonna make you profitable in trading, and it didn't work out because it was a YouTube short for like 30 seconds, right? And they were like, Sebastian, I'm following this strategy 100%, but I'm still losing. I was like, bro, this isn't a strategy, it's a clickbait to make money on YouTube. So I'm gonna add that part. If you follow a profitable strategy, which every single educator on this platform have, so you can choose anyone you want and follow them, you learn it and you follow the rules from it, you are gonna be profitable. All right? It doesn't take that long to learn trading. It doesn't take that long to learn a strategy. It of course depends from who you are, how easy you have to learn, how new you are to this industry, how new you are to the market. It's gonna vary from like a couple of days for some people, a couple of months for some people, a couple of years for some people, all right? That's just how it is. But when you learn the strategy, then you have to focus on your discipline and following the rules of your strategy. The emotional part of trading is way, way bigger than the technical side. So how you handle losses is really, really important. Because if you can't handle losses, if you don't understand why you lose, the reason or one of the things that could happen and happen in many, many cases is that you start to over leverage, you risk more, you take more dumb trades, and you're losing more money, right? That's the main things that's happening. And that's why most people quit this industry so, so fast. Because they jump in, they think they're gonna be a millionaire by like a week later. They lose 100 trades in a row in a week because they lost their first trade and was like, I need to make this money back. I need to make this money back. I need to make this money back. Stop chasing making the money back, all right? And start just chasing to follow the rules. And I know for sure that in the long run is gonna make you more money. And I just want to know how many of you guys are following RJ right now? I am. I'm just gonna be honest here. He's a super good trader, so I'm looking at his lives. I'm getting some answers. Nice, nice. Really good, really good. How many of you guys followed him the whole month of September? And be honest here. Who was on all his live sessions last month? So many people following RJ, but so few. I would say zero was on all sessions last month. From the second week in September. All right, perfect. Yeah, I know some people jumped in the middle of September, started to look at RJ, so that's also good. But what I wanted to come to here is that RJ made 130 R ish. I don't know if it was 135, 130, but ish 130 R. 135. Perfect. Thank you, Philip. So 130 R, 35 R in 1 month. If you put this in perspective, if you risked 1% on each trade and you had 100K funded, that 100K funded would be a 235K funded account after a month. But I know for sure, without asking around in the community, without talking with everyone who's following him, that there was very, very few people who actually made over 100 R last month. And you know the reason why? Because they didn't follow the same rule and the same structure and the same thinking of his strategy as RJ was doing. They weren't entering the same trades that RJ were entering because he didn't enter some trades, which was not from his strategy. And he was looking at the trades in a different way than most people are because he knows his strategy and he knows his rules. Some people took a loss from one of his sessions and then didn't trade anymore with him because they took a loss. And then he went out and made 135 R. Just know that there are some people in this company that might have been on RG sessions before this month. For the last 6, 7, 8 months, he's been an educator. And maybe took a loss. Maybe one loss here, one loss there. And stopped looking at him because he might lose 2 trades in a row. And this is just speculations. I don't know if he ever lost 2 trades in a row because that guy is just insane. He's like God. But anyways, he might have lost 2 trades in a row. And Some people jumped out of his sessions, were like, no, I don't want this educator anymore. And then he goes out and make 135 hour in a month. From his results just this year, if you traded with him for the whole year, you would first of all get funded really fast. And no matter what funded account you got funded on, you would have made almost a yearly salary in Sweden from just following his trades. And that would be the same if you had a 10K account and followed him and was funded on it. You almost make a yearly salary on just following him in trading on a 10K account. Imagine on a 50K or 100K or 200K account. You could have almost tripled your live account from following him in a year. And in comparison, I've talked a lot with people who's investing in stocks and stuff like that, that just having the money from their work, building up long term, and they're like 10% in a year, 15% in a year, that's what we're aiming for. That's a good year. And here he's making 135 in a month. And what I want to say with that is not that you suck, all right? That's not what I'm meaning. I'm saying he's really good at trading. He's really good at his strategy, but most importantly, he's really disciplined and he's really good at following his own rules and strategy, right? He's really good at following his own rules. I've been studying for the last 2 months really, really hard, and I've seen that he's looking at a lot of trades, but he's not taking all of them. Because if they don't do exactly like he wants them to do, he's not entering the trade, right? Because his rules saying that he shouldn't enter the trade. While most of you guys with the same strategy, with the same rules, would have taken a lot of those trades. Because it's ish there. It's almost at entry. It's kind of what I was looking for. And that's what I want to take away, right? That's what I want to try and push out of your head with trading. Because that's the main reason why people are losing in trading. Because they're not following their own rules and fucking strategy, right? Because it is so simple, all right? It isn't more complicated than that. But it's really, really hard to get in a place in yourself, in your mind, and in your body to be able to follow these rules, to be able to follow this strategy every single day you're trading. No matter how big your account is, no matter how your day is going, no matter what's happening in your life, you're still following these rules, you're still following your strategy. That's the hard part. And that's what I want to bring out to you guys with this call. That's what I want you guys to take with you from this call. If you take anything from this call, is that no matter how your day is going, no matter what's happening in your life, no matter what's going on, you follow your rules and you follow your strategy, all right? It doesn't matter how big something is, no matter how hard it takes on you. If you feel like you're not able to follow your strategy, you're not able to follow your rules, don't trade. It's not harder than that, right? I know from personal experience that shit happens in life, right? There comes days where you don't want to wake up, you don't want to go out of bed. You lose someone who's the most important person in your life. Don't trade. You don't have to trade. There's no rule, there's no thing that's forcing you to trade every single day, right? I took almost 3 months away from trading when I had a bad time in my life almost a year ago. Because I lost someone who's really, really close to me. And what happened? I didn't go down in money. I didn't lose anything from not trading. And when I felt like, all right, I'm gonna be able to follow my rules, I can follow my strategy, That's when I started to trade again, and the results just kept flowing in. So if you feel like you're not supposed to trade today because you can't follow your rules, you can't follow your strategy, you can't do this with the right intentions, don't trade, all right? Take a day, take a rest. Don't worry about it. Because it's really important that you don't have FOMO in the market. And FOMO, for those of you that don't know what it is fear of missing out, all right? There's nothing to fear of missing out on in the market, all right? The market is going to move every single day. You can make the same money every single day. Doesn't matter what happens. So if you take a day away from trading, so what? All right? So what? That day from you missing out on trading, or that week, or that month from you not trading, is not gonna be the reason why you're not successful in a year. That's not gonna be the reason why you're not living out of trading in a year from now. That's not gonna be the reason why you have economic problems in a year from now, right? Because that month of not trading in a full year does not matter. But what does matter is keeping your account to be able to trade on, to be able to grow. You know, the worst feeling you can have as a trader is to see so many beautiful setups that follow your strategy and rules perfectly and you don't have a trading account to trade on. And you're just gonna sit in there and counting how much you could have made on those trades if you just had an account to trade on. So don't be that person who sits and looks at other people's results because you don't have a trading account, because you blew it from a bad mistake, from a bad day of trading, from you just not being able to follow your own rules. I know I got really, really deep into that part, but I just wanted to really get you guys that message for trading. But I always talk about the things that I wanted to hear when I started my trading journey. I always talk about the things that I feel like I missed out from hearing from my mentors when I started that could have saved me a lot of time and a lot of losses and a lot of money. And sometimes it sucks to hear it, all right? I'm just gonna be honest. If you felt hit from what I was talking about, then it was supposed to hit you like that because you needed to hear it. Because that's gonna be the thing that changes your whole trajectory in trading, right? That's gonna change your whole life from trading by just taking that in and understanding what I meant with it. But with that, we're gonna round off this call. I hope you got some value from this call. I hope you understand the message. And I really, really hope that you take advantage of the things we have here in Akashics because we really do have every single opportunity for you guys to succeed in trading, succeed in business, and succeed in this industry, all right? You can live your dream life if you just really take advantage of the situation you are in right now. So make sure you lock in for the rest of this year so you start the next year really, really strong. And let's really make a lot of freaking bag on tap to trade, guys, because we're gonna explode. But with that, take care, peace out, and I'll see you guys on the next team call. As always, ciao, ciao.